Great morning, great morning, great morning. Come on in, you guys. Come on in. While you guys are coming in, I'm going to go ahead and go live on Instagram. Bam, just like that, it's done. And I'm going to go ahead and share. So, what I would like for you to do as you come in, let me know who's here and where you're tuning in from, and then share. Share the broadcast. Baby, we're talking about purpose today. We are on day 16 of the fast. It's almost done. Okay, we're on day 16. All right, let me get there. So I can share. All right. Here we go. You guys come on in. Come on in. Hey, you guys, let me know who's here and where you're tuning in from. Let me know who's here and where you are tuning in from. All right. Hey, sis, how are you? Good to see you, beautiful. Let me share it to my story. You know what? Maybe I can do it from over here. Hold on. All right. Let me try now. All right, you guys. Let's get the folks in. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I've sent out the invites. You guys, hopefully you've done the same. We're going to get started because I'm not going to be before you too long. Look, you guys, I would not be doing you the service that I'm called to do if I didn't share with you all about the alive. I know some of y'all like every day she talks about the alive, and every day I'm going to talk about it. Why? Because I'm alive, baby. And when you understand that, I literally have been in a season where it has been struggle, and if it were not for these products, the struggle would have even been greater. So I'm excited to have something that can assist me navigate the challenges. Excuse me, y'all. Let me turn on my do not disturb. To assist me in navigating the challenges that the holidays often bring, that stress often brings, that going through the change of life, menopause often brings. Look, I'm doing good, right? I'm doing good. Like, I'm super proud of myself, and I'm able to keep my head up because I have assistance with my mood. Now, as someone who has dealt with a mood disorder, I understand how significant that is. If you've never dealt with it, you may not understand. As someone who has dealt with fibromyalgia, it was officially diagnosed in 1996, I want to say. Um, like, this is huge because there's so many different pieces to the puzzle, and to find something that helps with so many pieces is huge. So y'all know what we do. Here we go. Here I go now. Pretty little. All right, y'all. Y'all know what kind of day it is, right? So here we go. Shot. Everybody shake. shake. Shake the devil off. Shake, shake, shake. Shake the devil off. A, B, C. As easy as 1, 2, 3. I'm telling you, do, re, mi, A, B, C. 1, 2, 3. Alive, you and me. Mwah, 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 mwah. Y'all know what we do. We shake it up, pour it up, and we drink it up. Yesterday, listen, I needed every bit of everything I got because, baby, I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Got to let it show. Hey, there's a new me coming out, and all I'm gonna be, all I've got to be. I'm completely positive. I know that ain't the words, y'all work with me. Okay, so here's to the point in your purpose. Cheers. Ah, my God. Listen, that top was loose, y'all. I'm glad that the live didn't go everywhere. I would have been mad. I would have had to get off. Yeah, I would have had to get off the live. My God, today. All right. Hey, Jason, how are you? Thank you for sharing. Hey, Charlotte, thank you for sharing. All right. So here we go. We are on day 16, and our topic is purpose. Our topic is purpose. The point in your purpose. You can make many plans, but the Lord's purpose will prevail. You can make many plans, but the Lord's purpose will prevail. Proverbs 19:21, New Living Translation. As human beings, we have a desire and a need to know and to plan. In fact, we are constantly making plans and encouraged to do so. We are asked as children, what do you want to be when you grow up? When we are in school, we are asked what we want to major in. When we graduate, we are asked, what are we going to do with our lives? When we have interviews, we are asked about our 3 to 5 year plan. From the time that we are little, we are taught and told that we need to be planning and have a plan. Well, the reality is that even our best plans are ultimately in the hands of God. We can have our 3, 5, 10, 20-year plans all laid out rationally based on what we want to achieve in life and have it all turned upside down by life. God can step into our well-laid plans and shift them like a strong breeze blowing on fallen leaves or a bee shifting pollen from a flower. Does that mean that we shouldn't plan? Absolutely not. In fact, Habakkuk 2:2 says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. The NLT version says, that was the King James, the NLT version says, then the Lord said to me, write my answer plainly on tablets so that a runner can carry the correct message to others. This vision is for a future time. It describes the end and it will be fulfilled. You see, while we plan, we need to make sure that we are seeking God for his plan for our lives. It is his plan that will be fulfilled. It is his answer that must be written. We get so caught up in people convincing us that it is all about us creating a plan, when the truth is that we do create a plan based on God's plan for our lives. I know that throughout my life, one thing that I know for sure is that I have made plans and then God stepped in and said, nope. Or maybe he said, not yet. Either way, my plan, my time frame, and or my timing was not in alignment with his. So as we close out the year and begin to plan for the new year, it is imperative that we seek the one with the ultimate plan for our lives, for guidance and direction. Don't make another plan without seeking the one with the plan for your life, because your plan not being in alignment with his purpose for your life will definitely fall flat. I don't know about you, but I know that I have wasted a lot of paper and typing trying to create plans without consulting the master planner first. This year, my plans center around his plans for me, because when we work in concert with one another, we can create an amazing plan, life, and reality. So God, I trust your purpose for my life, and I allow it to guide all of my plans. Woo! this right here, okay? This right here, day 16. So as we talk about purpose, right? If we plan without considering our purpose, if we plan without knowing our purpose, if we go through the process without understanding that anything we plan outside of God, come on, somebody, is going to end up failing or falling flat or taking us through a lot of unnecessary turmoil. So rather than do that, why not consult the master planner? Last night we had a team meeting, a team training, and our CVO came on and was training us. Let me just say this about that man right there. That man right there is the truth. Like, if ever I've met somebody that is the truth. And I didn't always realize that he was the truth. I didn't always realize that. But one of the things that I'm like, listen, it seems like every time he does a training, right? He can even be talking about some of the same stuff, but I promise you, I always get something new out of it. It's like the word of God. You read it and you get something, and then you go back, you read it again, and you get something else. You're like, oh, I didn't even see that in there, right? So he was doing the training and he was talking about setting goals, right? Setting goals. And he talked about three types of goals, right? He talked about A-type goals, which are things that you know without a doubt that you can do, right? Things that you know without a doubt you can do. B-type goals, which are things that you're like, I want to do it. I think I might be able to do it, but I don't know how I'm going to do it. Like, I don't know, right? And then C-type goals, which are those goals that are so audacious, that are so lofty, that you're like, listen, I'm going to put it out here. I have absolutely no idea how or if this can happen for me, but I'm going to put it out there, right? So as we were talking and we were challenged to set our A-type, B-type, and C-type goals in the company, he also challenged us to set our A-type, B-type, and C-type activities that would lead to those goals, right? And so as I went through, and my husband and I were sitting there, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. And y'all know me, y'all know I just be honest, I just be real. Hey, April, hey, Ashley, good to see you. I just be real, okay? That's the only way I know how to be. So I'm not gonna give you no fluff and fake. Listen, I had a period where, like, my husband and I just were not on the same page. We were not on the same page. We were not going in the same direction. We were not. Like, I'm just looking at the whole situation like, God, I know you lied. And I'm sure he was looking at it the same way. But this is why this fast is so crucial. One of the things I prayed for in this fast was unity. Unity in my marriage, right? Unity, that we would be able to get on the same page, because we do some things very differently. We view some things very differently. So I said, God, we need unity, because the only way we're going to get to where you're taking us is through unity. We got to do it together. We got to be on the same page. If we're on different pages, baby, we're going to be in trouble trying to get to our goals. And it really was what was stopping us. The month of December, the month of January, we were just struggling, right? Trying to get it together, figure it out, and get to our goals. And normally we don't struggle as badly, but yeah, it was kind of rough, right? So last night, anyway, the Lord moved. He worked it out, right? So we're on the same page, trying to create more of that unity in what we do, how we move, where we're going, all that good stuff. And so last night on the training, like, he just immediately started talking about, oh, our A-type goal is this, our B-type goal is this, our C-type goal is this. I said, well, okay then, sir. Set the goal then, sir. Set the goal. And so we literally, while the training was going on, we were given an assignment, and we completed our assignment and then submitted it while we were still in the training. Because this is what we understand. We understand that if we can get on one page, then we can do what it is that God has ordained for us to do. But we can't do any of that if it's outside of God's purpose and God's will. Listen, we sought God about his purpose and his will for us, for this company, for what we are to do in this company. And God has spoken to both of us individually and said the same thing. So we know we can agree on that. If we can't agree on nothing else, we can agree on that. And last night was so powerful, because that agreement on what God has said for both of us individually and collectively allowed us to move as one, allowed us to move as one unit. We were on one accord. And when you're on one accord, there is nothing impossible. So suddenly, right, there's been a shift Okay, there's been a shift. And so now he made it so simple. He made it so plain. He made it so doable that it's like, if you don't do it, like, what are you doing? Like, if you don't do it, what are you doing? Really, what are you doing? So, yes, April, it was amazing, but every training he does is like that. It's so amazing. It's so incredible. And when you got a chief visionary officer who is committed to the field the way he's committed to the field, and serving the way he serves. Last night he said something, and this all ties into purpose. I want y'all to stay with me. Last night he said, I have a standard, right? I have a standard for hotels I stay in. I have a standard for, like I have a standard. He said, I set a standard in my life. And he said, as I grew my standard, I elevated my standard, right? I remember when he came to Panama City, right? And he said, I normally don't stay in less than a 5-star hotel. Guess what? We don't have none in Panama City. We don't have no 5-star hotels in Panama City, y'all. We don't. So he stayed somewhere he normally would not stay. This is why I want you to understand the power of God's plan and purpose for your life. Hey, Antoine, good to see you. Listen, the power of God's purpose and plan for your life will have someone with the 5-star hotel standard come to a city where there's no 5-star hotel to support you and what you're doing, to support the team that you're building, the people that are being launched to share and to expose. Now, look, when he came, we didn't have a huge team. We didn't have a lot of people in Panama City. And there weren't a lot of people at the meeting. But the people that were there got something powerful. The people that were there got some things that could shift their life if they apply it. The problem is when we know that God has a plan for our life and that he knows our purpose, when God's plan and our purpose are in alignment with our plan, right? We make our plan in alignment with his, actually, right? Baby, we can knock things out. But it requires faith. It requires confidence. It requires trusting God that you can do what you might not think you can do. I've had to learn, and y'all, this was a challenging thing for me. I've had to learn the power of following, right? I can serve, right? I can serve. I'll serve, When I need to serve, I'll serve. It's not a problem. I'll serve. But that following thing, like, listen, this is just the God's honest truth. Listen, that's all I know how to tell you. I said this last night after he had gotten off. He increased my willingness to follow. I don't trust people to lead me. Like, I don't trust people, right? And so what I realized, I remember we were doing an exercise and he was talking about heroes. I was like, hero? I might respect you. I might love you. I might think highly of you, but hero? I don't know about that. And then, y'all, this is going to sound so crazy, but as I thought about it, I said, okay, there's the answer that maybe I should give, but it's not true. And then I began to think about it, and I said, this man low-key is my hero, right? He really is a hero to me because he's doing something that seemed impossible on God's word. Listen, you can't be my hero if you ain't following God. I'm just telling y'all, listen, I can admire you. I can respect you, but hero, that's a pretty huge bill for me. Like, So I'm discovering that my trust is being increased to follow, to trust the plan and follow the plan, right? Because I normally just don't. Okay. It's one of my challenges with being married is following somebody. I'm like, where are you taking us? Where are we going? Can you even lead? you know where we going? Which is a problem because women, when you get married, you need to marry a man that you can trust to lead you. You need that. Otherwise, you're going to buck against the grain. You're going to buck against the grain. I don't even like when my husband gives me directions when we're riding. I don't like it. Please don't tell me where to go. Let me just use the GPS. That's how deeply ingrained that is. Now you got to ask yourself some questions, right? When you discover things like that, you got to ask yourself some questions. Why? Why are you like that with following? Why? What's happened in your life that made you feel like, well, for me, I've always been a trailblazer. And so as a trailblazer, most of the time, what I did, there was no blueprint for. No one had done it before me. So as a trailblazer, it makes it difficult to follow because you like, I don't know. But I'm going to tell you what God showed me last night, and this blessed my soul. And I know that it just unlocked something for me to have another level of success, right? My confidence in someone else's ability to give me a plan that can work for me. Now, that's huge because anytime you want to grow, it's going to require systems. Hey, beautiful, how are you? It's going to require systems. And this is what God told me last year. God said, I'm laying the foundation for you to scale what you do. How do you scale what you do? It means that you got to have a clear vision that when the runner reads it, they get the correct message and they can run the race. You cannot scale any business without a clear plan and a system. How is it that McDonald's can do what it does? It has a system. It's the McDonald's system. If you haven't watched the movie about Ray Kroc and McDonald's, that wasn't even his idea. It wasn't even his stuff. Somebody else had it and he took it. Come on, y'all, listen. But he took that system and he had enough audacious faith and he believed enough to go and start McDonald's all over and create franchises. He understood that there was a way to be able to do it. And that's what he did. You've got to know that God's plan for your life supersedes your plans when they're not in alignment with his. Now, if you're in alignment with his plans, you're good. But if you are not, I'm just going to tell you, I don't care how much planning you do. I don't care how many smart goals you write. I don't care how much you map it out. If it's not what God is planning for your life, it's not his purpose for your life, baby, you can scratch all of that because all of it will come to naught, nothing, right? But when you get in alignment with God's plan and his purpose for your life, right? You'll understand that there is a point to your purpose. Your purpose is exact for a reason, right? And it's going to show up in outcomes. It's going to show up in manifestations. It's going to show up in goals accomplished. It's going to show up. So we were talking about A-type goals, right? Things that, you can do, like, that's your base, that's your minimum, you're not going below that, right? So check this out. Our company is built on a system of champions, right? Champions. Our goal is 10,000 champions. I think that's right. 10,000 champions. Or 100,000. I think no, 10,000 champions. 10,000 champions, which will allow us to reach a larger goal, which is impacting the lives of 1 billion people, spiritually, physically, and emotionally. Look. What I'm going to tell you is when I look at my vision and my goal to impact the lives of people, I'm like, whoa, it fits, right? It fits within the context, right? So when I looked at my type A goal or my A-type goal, it was, champion. No, it wasn't even champion. Listen, it was sapphire. Now, we're not going below champion. We're not going below that period, right? But sapphire, like that's sapphire. Sapphire. We sapphire. I know we can do that. We know we can do that. We've done it. Listen, let's go. Let's get it, right? But it requires something. It requires supporting other people in accomplishing their goals. You see, what I understand is this: if I can help other people accomplish their goals, I'll accomplish mine. When we understand that there is power in interdependence, we can do way more together. What does the word say? One can put 1,000 to flight, two can put 10,000 to flight. So, what happens when we come together? When we come together with a common purpose, with a common goal, which is to make the lives of other people better, to improve their lives spiritually. Come on, y'all. Spiritually, we starting with spiritually, yes. Because if you don't deal with the spirit man, everything else you do is going to fall apart, because when trouble comes, they're not going to have anything to sustain them. Look, yesterday, y'all saw a very different me, right? Look, I made some decisions. I made some decisions to do some things to shift me. I know we say, oh, this time of year, I just get like this. This is just how it is. Or, oh, this is just how I am. Oh, this is how I've got to be. It's a lie from the enemy. We have the ability to show up how we want to show up and need to show up. And I'm not just talking about faking the funk. I told y'all, I've been doing what I do. Even in the midst of everything that was going on in my life, in my emotions, in my head, feeling disconnected, being disconnected, I still did what I do. But baby, today, I woke up with a renewed vigor, a renewed confidence. Plus, I worked out yesterday, and that helps, y'all. Listen, and then people say, well, you know, I don't feel like working out. I'm too tired to work out. I don't have time to work out. Make it fit. I did yesterday morning and this morning, I did my somatic exercises. I do them in the living room with the yoga mat. You ain't even got to have a yoga mat, right? But we got hardwood floors. I'm a little sensitive, right? And that mat ain't thick enough. I need a thick mat, okay, for my knees and stuff. But I did my workout. And yesterday I did two. You know, I did the one that was scheduled for that day, and then I did an ab workout. Today I did two. I did the one scheduled for today, and then a full body tone, right? So, and then I'm going to go to the gym, right? So you've got to be willing to do what's necessary, even if it's a little bit. The workouts aren't long. If I can only do one workout and I do this 10-minute workout, y'all, come on now. Who ain't got 10 minutes, y'all? Now, come on. You ain't that busy that you ain't got 10 minutes. Come on. Now you just deceiving yourself. Now that's a lie, and the truth ain't in you. If you say I don't have 10 minutes, you're lying. You're lying. You scroll for 10 minutes. You scroll. You've been out here for 10 minutes, right? So we've got to prioritize those things that are going to create the changes in our life. And when we do that, we can better fulfill God's purpose for us and get in alignment with his plan for our life. I refuse not to accomplish what God has already shown us for 2024. I refuse, baby. Prepare to be sick of me. I refuse. Listen, and I refuse to not allow God to make the changes in me, because I have to change, y'all. Listen, if you're thinking that you're going to get where you want to go without you changing, you're deceiving yourself. Normally, I wouldn't measure stuff. Like, I'm not a measurer, right? It's like, oh, I don't like all that. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. But you can't track what you don't measure. You can't track what you don't measure. And I know that because I do statistics and research methods and stuff. You can't track what you don't measure. And if you don't measure it, you don't know whether you get it or not. So God has been challenging me. He's put these systems in place for me to measure what I'm doing. So that's what I've been doing. I'm having to measure. I'm having to measure what I'm eating, tracking what I'm eating, paying attention to what I'm eating. I'm having to track my water intake. How much water am I drinking? My exercise. What am I doing? How many people am I reaching out to? I'm tracking it, right? And last night I would not go to bed because I had not talked to anybody about the business, right? I said last night, I can do 2 people now. I can do 2 people a day. Come on now. Anybody can do 2 people a day. Expose 2 people a day, we can do that, right? That's A-type behavior, A-type activity. So I said, okay, well, before I go to sleep, I'm going to do 2 people at least. And I did. Ashley will tell you, I done reached out to it. Hey, girl, Can you watch this video? Let's talk. Speaking of which, Ashley, remind me to tell you about the Forever Young and Edges. Okay, remind me to tell you about the Forever Young and Edges, honey. Listen, some of your clients will be like, girl, this stuff got my edges coming back. My edges coming. Come, y'all know, listen, black women with these lace fronts and stuff, baby, they need them edges back. That Forever Young is helping grow edges back. Yes, honey. Ashley said she did. Girl, I'm telling you, I'm going to send you some pictures so you can see. Yeah, Ashley, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They need it. And if they need it, they might as well get it from you. Although they can get it from me if you don't want. Like, I'm just saying, I'll take the money, okay? But I want you to have it. So when we understand that God's purpose for our life and God's plan for our life is to give us a hope and a future, yes, we can. And we'll talk about it. To give us a hope and a future and to bring us to an expected end. There's an expected end God is trying to get you to. The question is, will you go? Or will you be so determined and stubborn and hard-headed and rebellious that you're like, I'm just not going to follow? And if you're in that place, I get it. I've been there. I've been there. Yes, Ashley. One can reach 1,000 and two can reach the unlimited. Come on, girl. That's what I'm talking about. So what are we to do, right? What are we to do? There's a point in your purpose. And the point is that your planning, as good as it is, if it doesn't align with God's plan, it's of no avail. Today, let's get in alignment with God's plan for our life. Let's get in alignment with God's plan for our life and watch and see what it is that he does. Because I'm going to tell y'all this, baby. Listen, the way God is working, the way God is moving, he's changing lives. And he's changing lives quickly. And the crazy thing is this. It doesn't take a lot of people to change lives. One can put 1,000 to flight and two can put 10,000 to flight. Come on, y'all. It's the power of two. That's all it really takes. It's two people that are committed to something. If you got two people committed to something, baby, you can take over the world. That's why last night was so key and so powerful. You know, fasting and prayer works. It does. And it doesn't mean that it's all going to be smooth. Because, baby, it was explosion before it got together. It was explosion before we came. But it was explosion. I'm just trying to tell somebody and help somebody out here thinking that every relationship is relationship goals. When you don't know what they're dealing with and what they got to go through. Listen, we had explosion before we were able to come together on one accord, right? I need y'all to hear me. I need you to hear me. And it was ugly, okay? But baby, out of ugly things, God produces beauty. Out of ugly things, God produces beauty. We just got to be willing to go through the ugly to get to the other side, okay? So, look, today I'm going to go ahead and, before I forget, look, the No More Sabotage class. Listen, y'all. So I've been talking to a lot of people about what's going on inside of them. And a lot of people is in sabotage mode. Like saboteurs are on fleek. They've been on fleek for me, disrupting my thought processes, my life. And they also disrupt your mood and your emotions because that judge, that master saboteur, oh, he's a tricky sir. He is a tricky sir, honey. And he will have you all out of kilter, all out of whack. He will have you in a place of negativity, trying to find your way back. But baby, when we can call him out, recognize what he's doing, and make the adjustments, we can change everything. You see, yesterday when I went to the gym and worked out, when I was on the treadmill, that's when I do my personal development, I read. So I'm on the treadmill and I read. And so I was reading again the book on positive intelligence. And I was reading again about the judge and the power of the judge. And I'm like, man, if we can just recognize our judge and lock him down, then normally the accomplished saboteurs we can deal with. But when that judge is rampant, baby, listen, it's hard. It's hard. So as I was reading, I was like convicted all the more of why this class is necessary. This Saturday and Sunday, Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern, Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be doing No More Sabotage. If you've not taken it, you need to take it. You need to take it, right? If you've taken it, you might need a refresher. And I know God is going to do some different things because all of this has created a little shift for me in terms of how I teach it. And it's always different. It's always slightly different. Last time, listen, it was some deep work. Normally, I don't do all that level of deep work, right? But it was some deep work. Good morning, baby. You must have fell back asleep. So I just know this. I know that it's getting ready to change some lives. For those people who do it and take it seriously, it's going to change some people's lives. April said, take the class. You won't regret it. Yes, I'm actually, after this class in February, I'm going to launch a 7-week No More Sabotage Supercharge, where we go through 7 weeks of applying the principles of how to really understanding the saboteurs and how to move from surviving to thriving, right? We're going to touch on it, in the class. We're going to go through some principles, but we won't be able to go as deep as I'll be able to go when we do the No More Sabotage 7-week class. So I'm telling y'all, because if you want to do the 7-week class, you need to take the first one, right? So that you can be in position to be able to do that. I'm going to tell you that I believe with everything in me, I have absolutely no doubt about it, that once you take this class and apply these principles, you too will be able to shift your mental, because you'll discover that there's some lies that are running in the background that are causing you to feel the way you feel. All anger, jealousy, envy, hatred, bitterness is rooted in the judge. All of it is rooted in the judge. All of it is rooted in the judge. So when we understand that that's what's going on, that we're believing lies and these lies are impacting us and affecting us, then we got to make adjustments. We got to make adjustments. Today, make a decision. Make a decision. April said, my judge was judging last night. I'm glad I recognized him. Amen. Amen. Because that's what he does. That's what he does. And then he makes everything super negative. Like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. And then if you have judge and hyperachiever, judge and stickler, your judge and controllers, listen, baby, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. So we've got to be aware of what's going on, and we've got to be able to make the necessary adjustments and make the necessary shifts. I'm going to tell you this. It doesn't matter what your yesterday was. It doesn't matter what your last night was. Today, you can make a decision to do something different. You can. You have that power. You have that authority. Shake it off. Shake, shake, shake. Shake the saboteurs off. Because, listen, they probably do more damage than the devil, because once he gets them stirred up, he ain't even got to do nothing. He just let them take off. And there we go. So make sure you go ahead and register bit.ly/no more sabotage. Now, I'm going to say this because I think it's very important that I say this, right? This journey, especially the past few months, did some necessary work for me. It pulled up stuff that I thought I dealt with, I thought I was over, I thought I was good on, and showed me it was still there. Forced me to face some things about myself and some things in myself so that I could deal with myself. I refuse to be the reason that I don't get to destiny and that we don't get to destiny. I refuse. So that means that I have to make a conscious decision to deal with me, and I can only deal with me. I'm only responsible for me, and you're only responsible for you. But when we assume that responsibility, when we take it on, then we can take our lives. to the next level and the next dimension. I'm not even going to be on here long, y'all. Listen, go register. If you want to sow a seed, you can sow a seed at Cash App $DRV Johnson 777. Cash App $DRV Johnson 777. And one more thing. Let me say this. If you don't have this devotional, if you don't have it, you need to get it. You need to get it. Hold on. I'm getting ready to put it up. Go to bit.ly/FF21V2 book. FF21V2 book. bit.ly FF21V2 book. Get it. My shipment should be coming in this week. Okay. So my shipment should be coming in this week and I'll be able to sign it and get it out to you. In the meantime, you'll get the ebook. I'm excited. I'm excited about what God is doing and how God is moving, and I'm excited for you. Listen, know this, you guys. Know that I absolutely love you to life and life more abundant. And remember, God's plan. Oh, what's the affirmation? Let me tell y'all the affirmation. My plan is based on God's purpose for my life, and it will prevail. My plan is based on God's purpose for my life, and it will prevail. I love you guys. Have an amazing and incredible day. Be blessed. Mwah!